The Rage Room is about our obsession with technology and how it's going to consume and destroy us.
Rage Room takes place in the future. It's a bit of a dystopian story. And it's told from the perspective of a guy named Sharps. And this guy, Sharps, he lives in this world where there's basically no arts and culture anymore. It's everything is run by technology, and the elite are very elite. If you do like dystopian time travel, sci-fi, but also very character-driven, it's a very cool story.
I was sitting at my desk and a colleague came over and she said she was going to a Rage Room that weekend because a friend of hers had recently got divorced, and so they wanted to take her to a Rage Room to celebrate because she could go and smash things. And I popped up. I was just like, a Rage Room, and I knew I had to write about a Rage Room. But then, of course, real life is only a tiny little seedling for the base of a novel. It turned into an apocalyptic dystopian novel about anger and how technology is taking over the world. So I always have an idea and then it runs away like some crazy, runaway horse, and then I have to go with it. When I was working on the selection of the voice, basically I sat with my computer and my eyes were closed and I played the different selections, and I was waiting for the person who would be like, I'm Sharps, and that was Scott.
I think my favorite part about reading this book was the characters. It's such an interesting, quirky cast of characters. For me, reading the book was really exciting and interesting. The more I went along, the more I wanted to go along and see where the hell this was going. I really appreciate her mind, her creativity, and that's why it was so much fun to read this story.
Basically, it would be, rooting out the patriarchy at a very, very, very deep level. I would get rid of all the patriarchal men who glad hand each other and who cheerfully congratulate each other on failing up and then getting the biggest, fattest checks that pave their way to go golfing in Europe or whatever it is, or move on to some other corporation, basically come in and break everything, get a massive check, and then move on.
There needs to be a lot of healing that happens, and I think men are not good at putting that first. We're right in the middle of a very scary thing that's happening in the Ukraine that's all about one guy's crazy, I've got to flex my muscles and show the world that I can, have this power. And I feel like the world is just kind of over it. Like we need a bit of a shift, and there need to be more women in power, places of power. There needs to be more compassion in this world.